tough player.
A tough player and a smart idea, going in and tapping in to the Iowa Hawkeye wrestling program.
Yeah, I love that, because we were talking to Jan Jensen this morning at practice about it, and she just said it just made the pain go away. It just alleviated the pressure points there.
After the tip, it is Michigan basketball to start semifinal number 2 here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The winner of this one will meet UCLA in the Big Ten championship game tomorrow here in Indianapolis. Trying to look immediately inside to Olsen, and an immediate whistle.
See, I thought it was a zone, and then I thought it was a box and one, with Fierbach guarding Olsen very closely. But it just looks like it's principled player-to-player defense to start for Iowa.
Well, that's what Coach Jensen told us coming into today's matchup. Her focus on Swords and Olsen, how to slow down that tandem of sophomores. Corals Daniels snaking along the baseline. Cutting is Olsen. Fierbach, all defensive team right there, and earns Iowa a possession. The leader of the Hawkeyes in her second season, Jan Jensen, seeking the 6th title game appearance the last 8 seasons. They had a three-peat going before UCLA came and disrupted the party last year in Indianapolis in this building.
Yeah, how about that? Jan Jensen has said, hey, we've had a lot of players on this roster, Fierbach and Stolke, who have experienced this environment at the tournament and postseason play, having gone to national championship games in the Final Four.
Ava Hayden met inside by Sofakanik. It did not matter on that turnaround.
Yeah, the last time these two teams met on February 22nd, she was 6 for 6 in the 4th quarter for those 12 points. I said, hey, can you start the game the way you finished that one? And the answer to that is yes on that first possession for Ava Hayden, a sensational player inside for the Hawkeyes.
Was a breakout player in the Big Ten tournament last year, NCAA tournament as well, and she has picked up that momentum here again in Indianapolis.
She's just so much fun to watch. I mean, she establishes herself early, trying to get another seal down in the paint, but they covered that from the weak side also with great anticipation skills.
She just pounced on that, lurking and waiting for the opportunity. And now Michigan back with it. Mila Holloway, part of this Big 3 sophomore class, misfires, looking to get her shooting going after she started 0 for 8 in the quarterfinal win.
Yeah, she struggled offensively in the game yesterday, got in a little foul trouble, and sometimes that takes the smoke off of your aggression.
Ava Hayden, what is the answer? Already 2 for 2 with the angle and deep post-up.
Yeah, I call her Megan Gustafson 2.0. Megan Gustafson still holds the all-time record here, the Iowa Hawkeye. From 2018, scored 48 points here in the tournament. And that record still holds, but it's the fanciful footwork ahead of the shot for me.
Long range 2, Brooke Corals Daniels doesn't go, and look at the box out by the Hawkeyes. Wide open space leading to this 3 by Stremblow, who drains it.
I mean, that's Iowa Hawkeye basketball right there. Everybody getting a piece of the body, boxing out and pushing it the other way quick. On the 3, release by Stremblow in transition.
Swords off target, chasing down the loose ball is Chit Chat Wright. This is a rematch from February 22nd, just that recently, a 62-44 win for the Iowa Hawkeyes as Stolke is fouled inside.
Ava Hayden going to work. It's basketball, post moves 101. Rip and finish. Keep the ball high, down inside. Got to chin it. And then right here, off the missed shot, Fierbach with a massive box out on Olsen, who's ravenous to get a touch on the glass. And then Stremblow knocks that one home from range. Fans loving it.
Sofakanik picks up her first pick and roll. No surprise, Stremblow and Hayden, 2 super sophomores on the hookup.
Sensational connection by the sensational sophomore duo.
Long 3 by Olsen. My goodness, she was feeling it there. It just rims out. A battle for the loose ball. We'll go the other way. Kim Barnes-Arico leading this Michigan Wolverine squad. First time winning 25 games in a season since 2021-22. Their third 25-win season under her tutelage.
Yeah, they're 22 and 32 all time over the 32 years that Michigan has had women's basketball in play, so definitely craving an opportunity to get to the championship.
Ball movement, beautiful by the Hawkeyes. 21 games of at least 20 assists, but it doesn't convert there. Crossover by Holloway, tipped away, and it goes back to the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, it looked like Holloway got sped up there, and the bounce pass along the perimeter is tough to handle. They just send it straight over, chest pass. Hit him in the collarbone. That's what I always used to say when I was coaching. Throw it right to the collarbone because you're going to protect your neck at all costs. So get your hands up. This bounce pass is tough to handle, though.
Stokey smothered inside by Olsen.
Oh, what a big-time block there. Defensively, right here you see Hannah Stokey trying to attack and Olsen disallowing it and sitting that out. And she's saying, hey, that's off of Hannah, which it was.
Maybe that could spark the Wolverines here. 2 turnovers, 0 for 5 shooting and trailing by 9.
Usually your defense can ignite your offense.
And for Olsen, it does.
Absolutely. Olivia Olsen, the Swiss Army knife for Kim Barnes-Arico and the Wolverines, just a sophomore. She and Silas Swords both averaged 16 points last season as freshmen. The tops for a freshman duo in Division I basketball.
Kendall Dudley takes a shot to the face. She is still down, hands over her face. She's on her back. It is 5-on-4 for the Wolverines as she is just now getting to her feet before a whistle. Coach Barnes-Arico is trying to get the attention of the referee, and Dudley looks shaken up.
Yeah, trying to see if they need to look at that. Kendall Dudley got a bump to the face down here. We'll see. Going inside. Oh, on the way down from the shot, Ava Hayden got her in the face, and it didn't look malicious. It did look like a basketball play, and we'll see if they adjudicate it to be excessive for an upgrade possibility.
A flagrant 1, they're looking for unnecessary hard or excessive contact or excessive or unnecessary swinging. We're going to step aside here for a moment. 9-2 is Iowa's lead about midway through the first quarter in semifinal number 1. Taking a look at this play when we come back.
The previous play is under review for a potential.
Today's impact player fueled by Gatorade.
Well, it's the early work for me. She has just been phenomenal in terms of how she's been able to operate in the painted area. You get behind her, she locks you in, but then on the move, she's also just as engaging and dominating.
Last 3 quarters, complete dominance against the Michigan Wolverines. When you look at the Hawkeyes as a team, they've won 6 straight against Michigan. The average margin, 18 points per game.
We can see the experience for the Iowa Hawkeyes shining through early in this one. They've been able to go straight downstairs, and Ava Hayden has been able to go straight to work.
That last play, by the way, deemed incidental contact, so no flagrant foul on Ava Hayden on that contact with Kendall Dudley. So the Wolverines now with 5 seconds to shoot. 1 dribble pull-up for Olsen. That was well contested, and the loose ball jumped on by Feuerbach.
Kendall Dudley, high school teammate of Kiki Rice, who we just saw for UCLA at Sidwell Friends in DC, and her mom was the head coach there. So a nice little DMV connection with those two.
Powerhouse program in the nation that she comes from. First season in Ann Arbor. Pick and pop here for Hayden. She can also stroke it from outside the paint.
Well, it's great spacing by Iowa, even though she missed that shot. I like that selection for the Hawkeyes on that possession.
Mila Holloway is off target. That rebound ripped down by Stolke. And the Hawkeyes bringing it on the glass.
See that heavily taped right elbow by Hannah Stolke. She made her first shot yesterday with some comfortability. Chit-chat right and transfer out of Georgia Tech. This is quick as a hiccup right there. Saved the possession. Even though she didn't corral it, she deflected it to her teammates.
Stagnant here offensively. Strumlow to drop it in just when the Hawkeye offense needed it.
And she is just cold as ice, I'm telling you what. She is the straw that stirs the proverbial drink, and Jen Jensen said as much today at shoot-around. She said that she was the player on the court who she relied upon to be a leader for them.
This team is 14-0 with her in the starting lineup. She said, I liked bringing her off the bench, but her moxie and confidence is too appealing to not be in the starting lineup. Here in her hands once more, tries to flip it in. That would have been absurd. But instead, Michigan takes back over.
Oh, that was cold right there. I told you she was cold-blooded.
Ayala Del Foss is checked into the game. Really strong six-player off the bench, but Hannah Stolke makes another stop inside.
And see, that's the challenge that I saw looking at these two teams, right? Michigan wants to attack the painted area just like that. Del Foss trying to get downhill, but Iowa's gap defense is just so solid. That's what Jen Jensen was talking about as well.
Chit-chat Wright, a couple dribble pull-up for one of the best shooting teams in the country, continuing to roll up 11.
Jen Jensen also said she wanted to see Chit-chat Wright shoot 100 shots a game. She defers so much, but that one looked very fluid and organic.
Olsen fouled, count it!
And there she is again. Olivia Olsen playing with some divine intervention right here. Just easy in the mid-range, splashes that one home. And Chit-chat Wright talking loudly with that midi on the other side for the Hawkeyes.
Olsen 2 of 4 shooting, the rest of her team 0 for 6, coming off a quarterfinal win, 16 points, 6 rebounds. She is a force.
And yesterday I was talking about the comparison that I have with her with Tamika Catchings, just the do-it-all player, but plays with some force on both sides, but just has this dogged attitude about her in terms of her competitive fortitude.
The Iowa freshman from Southern California, Addie Deal, will retreat. Again, going deep in the shot clock against one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. And numbers for the Wolverines. Holloway will spin in her attack. And Feuerbach again is able to make a stop.
Mila Holloway, oh my goodness, was trying to spin and win on that one, just came up short. But here she is, another sophomore for Kim Barnes-Arico. Tried to bring it to the second side, didn't get fully squared up. Did you see what she was trying to do?
Catch and shoot for Swords, doesn't hit anything, and Deal will collect.
Feuerbach just bringing the energy. Jen Jensen said she is just the composure for this team, and they rely on her for poise and also the energy that she brings.
2 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. All Iowa so far as Chit-chat Wright feeds it inside. Stolke, a tough take. She's walled up, and Olsen will accelerate. Olsen going coast to coast. Swords wants it right back. Can't get it again.
Usually money from there. The sophomores make up for 81% of their three-point production on the season.
Stolke loses it, and back to the Wolverines. Trying to spark some kind of offense, only 4 points so far.
Yeah, you can't do it one-on-one. They've got to do it with some off-ball movement, but that was an illegal screen. But that's what they need. I mean, in a legal manner. They've got to get that DHO, the dribble handoff action, and get Olsen downhill, right? Mila Holloway just put too much of her shorts on the spin around right there and got a clip. It wasn't that much. It looked more real time than it did on the replay, but it was just enough to disengage the primary defender there on Olsen.
The Wolverines 4 turnovers compared to 2 field goals.
Here's what Iowa likes to do. They like to isolate, trying to get Chit-chat downhill.
Right off 1 foot is no good. Journey Houston, a tenacious rebounder, finds Deal halfway down and out.
I love Houston's game yesterday. Ooh, she was so rugged on the glass, but also knocked in some really momentum-filled triples.
No Dudley, a strong take.
Boy.
Can't converge. That's going to stay here off the whistle. They'll actually reverse that.
To the chagrin of Kim Barnes-Arico, who holds her hands to the ceiling there. Let's take a look at it. Here's the opportunity. Oh no, that's the proper call. That's the proper call.
Right. It's under 1 minute to play. Dropping it into Stolke. She's stripped.
Oh, they're swarming Stolke.
Holloway.
She turned it over.
Sprinting up the floor. Can't lay it in.
And every time Hannah Stolke gets a touch on that lane line, she's drawing 2.5 bodies in her space. And what Stolke loves to do is turn her feet But Michigan has done a good job to crowd the space for her to turn her feet, not even allowing her to catch the basketball. But what they have to do now is maximize those stops on the other end and finish plays. You're getting a good start on plays. Now can you finish them on the other end?
Got an 8-second difference shot and game clock. For the Hawkeyes, 6 for 14 to begin this game. 10 to shoot now.
Spacing a little crowded here for Iowa. Need to kind of spread it out a little bit.
Just like that for Feuerbach, who's off target. Hayden trying to put it back in one-handed. And now 6 seconds left for the Wolverines to work. Olsen sets and cannot hit. That is the end of the first quarter. No other whistle to end. And the Iowa Hawkeyes hold Michigan to just 4 points. The fewest points in a quarter this season. Previously had been 5. Went on here in the postseason as we take a look at the Iowa Hawkeyes in line, according to our bracketologist Autumn Johnson, to host at Carver Hawkeye Arena, which should be something every opponent is wishing they are not assigned to. 51 consecutive sellouts in Iowa City for this 25-5 team.
Yeah, I mean, look at the work that they did, right? They just had a little bit of a skid there when they lost Taylor McCabe. 173 made threes on the senior's career that ended with a knee injury in the middle of conference play. So they had to recalibrate and get things back on track, which they did.
Soares good for 3 at second with Elise, who was listening into that last Wolverine huddle.
Well, what a nice punch for Michigan. It struggled their lowest scoring quarter of the season here to start today as Holloway had an opportunity, but Kim Barnes-Enrico telling her team, everyone just take a breath, let's settle in, don't look at the score right now, just win the next 5 minutes. She wants to speed them up on defense and get into Iowa and see if they can start turning some of this momentum around.
Yeah, they're doing a tremendous job on defense, right? And, you know, they tied it up, but you see the help here. Silas Swords is giving Mila Holloway, who looks very dejected. I mean, she's a 46% shooter from the floor and 34% from 3, but has yet to mark in this game.
Another turnover forced by Michigan, but they have not been able to capitalize just yet.
Yeah, you got to pay it off. You're doing all that work. You got to do it for something. Uh-oh, ice patch.
Swords drains another. She is catching fire for the Wolverines.
That's what she does. That's that international experience with the Canadian national team shining through for Silas Swords, who shot a dagger of a triple right there to give Michigan some momentum.
Michigan had started 0 for 7 from distance. Here's Hayden working from the high post, forces it up. Journey Houston working the glass, will shoot 2.
Yeah, this is what makes Silas Swords so sensational as a sophomore scorer. Ooh, look at that little ice patch. And then she knew exactly where the line was, 10 toes behind the line. And 3 points on the board. What a bucket getter. I mean, she created the proper space. That's wisdom. I mean, only a sophomore, but I tell you what, all that international experience. And she knocked in 8 triples against UConn. It's the closest game UConn has been in all season. 32 consecutive wins now after advancing in the Big East tournament today over Georgetown. But I tell you what, when you're looking at what Silas Swords is able to do, she has been absolutely consistent with her ability to set the table for this team on the offensive end beyond the arc.
Sofakanik spins against Hayden. They want to get her going in the paint.
She did a good job yesterday of making her presence felt as an interior scorer for the Wolverines for sure.
Chit-Chat Wright, one of the best shooters in the country, gets it to go.
Cash for the Atlanta native, Chit-Chat Wright. You got to find her in transition.
Olsen, no good there, ripped off the rim by Hayden Wright. 47% this season on 135 attempts, lights out her first year in Iowa City. Back with the basketball.
Jan Jensen wants her to keep letting that thing fly, right? Don't defer, and it's okay. Stay aggressive. She wants to see Chit-Chat Wright be more of a scorer for the team.
And there's a whistle and a turnover on the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, Chit Chat Right, her grandma gave her this name because she was kind of shy as a youngster. That's not shy to me, boy. That's all string music from range for Chit Chat Right. 46.2% from the floor in the regular season.
That's first in the Big Ten, tied for 5th nationally amongst qualifiers. She shot just 32% last year. Here is Olsen, a ridiculous jump shot again.
Yeah, they need that. They're giving her some screens off that pin down. That's all she needs. And now she can crowd space a little too much. Yeah, it's a little too much. It was.
It's going to go on Olsen, her first.
Yeah, right here, coming off of that double stagger off that weak side. That's when she's at her best. And now Feuerbach's chasing, trying to recover, and it's too late.
6 points, leading the Wolverines alongside Silas Swords, combining for 12 of Michigan's 14. Blitzing Chit Chat Right.
Now you're in a scramble on the backside. Somebody's got to cover.
And leaves it for Ava Hayden, nearly a 3-point play.
Now, if you're going to blitz, everybody needs to be on the same page with that. You can't be watching like, oh, look at them, they're doing a good job. No, that's a magnet for you to be pulled towards the ball. Everybody on a string, 2 people on the ball, 2 people 1 pass away, and a safety. And if any one of the 3 on the back end of that are late, it's going to cause problems.
Later tonight, catch men's hoops when Northwestern squares off against Minnesota in the regular season finale. The action tips off at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Hayden good on the second, and she is now up to 7 points to lead Iowa. Michigan started off slow in this game, trailed by as many as 11. It was Silas Swords with the initial spark. It's Olivia Olsen trying to keep it going, but can't knock it down there.
That was that same offensive set, that double stagger for Olsen coming up off the left side, trying to get established. Iowa did a better job of chasing through and contesting on that one, though.
Olsen battling in the paint against Stolke. A lot of backcourt pressure from Michigan's guards, taking them deep into the shot clock.
Yeah.
Hayden has that strip by Brooke Quarles-Daniels, and she tries to get it back. Look at the hustle on the floor. Michigan with it.
March Madness.
Quarles-Daniels slices her way inside, finds Olsen with the lefty lay-in.
That's the grit and grind through that's necessary, and now you feel that Michigan is cooking with some fish grease right now.
Hayden snakes along the baseline. Stremlo's gonna reset, but Michigan has come to life here in the second quarter after 4 points in the first 10 minutes. Stolke is swarmed, and there's a whistle.
Well, this is what it takes. Who's gonna come up with these 50-50 opportunities? Entry pass coming in, you dribble it, and now you turn 5-5 when you're 6-5. And look at the scrum. Save the possession by any means necessary. And then the extra pass being made. And then you see Olsen on that weak side, filling space and getting the bucket to go in transition.
So Buchanan will pick up her second, and it is Iowa basketball with 6 minutes on the clock in the second quarter. Winner of this game moves on to take on UCLA in the Big Ten title game tomorrow. And that will be an Iowa turnover off the baseline out of bounds. They have 5 turnovers in this quarter alone, now 9 total.
Yeah, you don't want to have that empty possessions. A couple of them have been live ball turnovers, and Michigan's been able to pay them off as of late. But early on, not so much. Jan Jensen would prefer to have a more clean offensive attack for sure. A team that is a leader in assist numbers this season.
5 seconds for Holloway, trying to get her going for the Wolverines. Delfoss steps into it. And swooped up there by Deal.
See what Iowa's going to organize here. They really have Hannah Stolke covered tightly. Can't even get a touchdown in there on her. They had a high side and low side defender with high hands in the passing lane, so she couldn't even touch the basketball.
Hayden dominated inside to start this game. Here she makes the stop on the interior, gets the block against Kendall Dudley, and it's Iowa ball.
Got a pump fake down inside those trees. Those Forest players, man, you got to move them.
Turnover Iowa.
Kendall Dudley got stuck in a precarious situation right here, trying to just take it up, and that's the easy block right there by Ava Hayden, right on time, getting that one out. But even if you're not a solid shot blocker, if you're a rabid defender, you gotta sell it and then get into that body and finish. You can't just take it up.
There's Dudley maneuvering at the high post, backing down against Journey Houston, and draws the foul.
Yeah, Kim Barnes-Arico with a hearty clap of the hands there for the effort by Dudley inside.
19-16 is Iowa's lead over Michigan, a spot in the championship game on the line. Tremendous coaches on either side here in the second. Indianapolis, but the story, as it has been all season, is the sophomore duo of Olivia Olson and Silas Swords. 14 of their 16 points today.
Yeah, they play so well off of one another. They make the proper reads. They understand the assignment. And speaking with them at Media Day in the fall, they had so much regard and respect for one another, and I thought that was just a beautiful asset to their skill sets on the court. Just great character people, right? They're young, they learned a lot. They were afforded a lot of playing time last season as freshmen, but they have so much respect for one another and how they can each impact the team in a positive way.
Elisa was going on in that last Iowa huddle.
Oh, Jan Jensen and her energy, you just have to love it. She was trying to tell her players, look, you're standing around and dancing to try to get the ball at the wing. They're denying you. They're going to deny you out to the parking lot. So she actually stood up out of her chair and was demonstrating, cut hard, feet cut out, go demand the basketball, and then settle in against this pressure. And she said, we're not even playing good right now. We have a lead, so let's just get back to being us.
Absolutely, and that's how you attack ravenous defenders who play up into the passing lane. You take them back door.
Chit-chat right, straight in the long range too, and Coach Jensen's gonna like that, cajoling her frequently to shoot more. She's up to 7 points.
Yeah, it was a proper read, going under the screen right there. The drop coverage was sitting in position 3 feet away.
Delphos forces it up.
Oh, and she gets it on the ground.
Gets it right back, 10 seconds to shoot for the Wolverines, a second chance opportunity where they thrive.
She repossessed the catch, though. Are you able to do that? I don't think so.
Off target from 3.
I don't think you're able to repossess that. That's like if you shoot it and come down with the air ball, like it's the same thing.
Deal with the spin move and soft touch. Michigan back on the offensive end. They're one of their last 7, trying to climb back into this game what was once an 11-point deficit. Just 4 points they scored in the first quarter. And so for a long range too.
Yeah, Delphos, I would have liked to see her rip and go. She's so long and lanky. Houston was right in front of her, but she has a height advantage there. But I thought she should have attacked instead of settled for the outside shot in that last one.
A lot of attention paid to Stolke, so that opens up Journey Houston.
Houston, Michigan has a problem. They don't know where she is. You have to stay aware. Head on a swivel as a great defender. You can't lose out of the scramble of a trap.
Traveling violation gives it back to the Hawkeyes, building some energy in this building.
You can't get stuck or fixated watching the basketball. If there's a player in your area, you've got to shorten that space defensively and have awareness so that you can close out on shots like that one. That was free and easy for Houston, for Iowa on that last possession.
Iowa shooting 48% compared to 23% for the Michigan Wolverines.
Jen Jensen fired up, pumping up her team. High energy. I love when they sit crisscross applesauce on the floor after shoot around and they discuss the game plan, and Lisa Bluter had that tradition for years, and now Lisa Bluter is on our side, still coaching. Look at Lisa Bluter up there like, yep, good. I set that screen, watching it real time. I'm sure that's difficult to sit there. Recruited a lot of these same kids. It's only her second year removed. I'm waving at her, that's my girl. Ah, she's blowing kisses over here to the booth. But Lisa Bluter, man, what a foundation she has set for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I mean, we're talking about Hawkeyes West and Hawkeyes East, and wherever the Hawkeyes go, they have fans. I mean, the final 4 runs that they took to championship games, it's just been such a beautiful thing. And in her words, there she is, sending some kisses our way. But, you know, a team that leads in assists, that's a high culture program, right? When you have the selflessness, and that carries forward. And I think Lisa Bluter set the standard with that for sure.
Over 800 career wins, a couple Final Four runs. Zira Stremlo missing inside, and Michigan trailing by 8. Looking to make a move here. It is Holloway with a great look, and she puts it down.
Yeah, rhythm triple right there, and that is just what the doctor ordered for Mila Holloway. 34% striker from range, and now they can apply some pressure at 2-2-1 for Michigan.
Where Quarles Daniels got a piece, but Iowa was able to stick with it.
Michigan did a great job rotating out of their press. That backline player came up, that next one over trickled to the backline.
Houston almost got the friendly bounce. We'll see if Holloway can get ignited here. Had started 0 for 6 before that last bucket. Drops it off back door to Olsen and back to the Hawkeyes. Coming up on the halftime show presented by Lilly, Mike Call, Shimmy Miller, Autumn Johnson, and Lisa Bluter. Break down the first half, preview the rest of the tournament, which is slowly dwindling. We're running out of games at this point. UCLA is already into the title game. The winner of this one will meet the undefeated in Big Ten play Bruins tomorrow.
Yeah, only one blemish on their record to Texas back in November. This UCLA team, just a juggernaut in the power-packed Big Ten Conference.
Right, calling her own number there. Houston attacking the glass against Swords. It's gonna be a foul.
Just a little too extracurricular with the contact there for Houston, trying to get down on that 50-50 opportunity with the loose ball.
And here is the Bruins, awaiting to see what their opponent will be, aiming for consecutive Big Ten tournament titles. And how special would that be for the Bruins potentially with their first regular season outright conference title in program history, the first ever since '99, which they shared with Oregon.
Yeah. And then Corey Close saying thrive in advance instead of survive in advance, and I love that. Put that on a t-shirt or something.
Dudley sticks with it for the Wolverines, and they're within 3 again.
And Dudley transferred from UCLA, was on the team last year that went to the Final Four.
Ava Hayden flips it up. She's been quiet here in the second quarter after a 3-for-3 start. Dudley running the floor, but so is Ava Hayden. That's what sets her apart.
Somehow just turn the Jets on just in the nick of time to get that steal orchestrated in the open court.
Hayden Lauren Betts amongst the best post players running the floor.
It's so freeing to get in the full court sprint.
Anna Stolke, are you serious? Post to post, and a 3-point play.
Look at Ava Hayden getting on her proverbial horse and getting the steal right there and keeping the possession alive for the Hawkeyes. The bench saying, get back down the other way, girl. We got some more work to do. And this was the work that was done. She filled the lane, took the contact, and will head to the line for the and-one opportunity.
Hayden converts 10 points, the first player to reach double figures for the all Big Ten first team selection, her first year as a full-time starter in Michigan, throws it away.
And Kim Burns-Enrico just threw her hands in the air like, what was that? Like, what was that, right? Cannot have empty turnovers and possessions. And that was just a miscue. That's what I call a computer glitch right there by Olivia Olsen. That's just unlike her, uncharacteristic. And that goes to what Elise Woodward's telling us about the huddle. Like, take a breath, take a beat. Getting used to this pressure-packed environment of postseason play.
Final 30 seconds of the first half. A 2-possession game in the semifinals. Wright dropping it into Hayden, loses her defender, can't finish on the left.
Good rotational defense on that weak side by Olivia Olsen to wall up initially to take away that easy opportunity from Ava Hayden inside.
6 seconds left for the Wolverines. Can they cut into this deficit? Quarles Daniels on the attack will fade. And That is where the score stands after the first 20 minutes, 28-22. Low scoring between these two teams at the midway point.
Yeah, it's been a defensive battle, and speaking of battle, the glass work, that battle has been won by the Iowa Hawkeyes, a 24-18 advantage. They have to continue with that in the second half for sure.
Jan Jensen.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's got to be composure on the offensive side because defensively they've held Hannah Stokey to 0 points right now. She's only taken 2 shots.
Brooke Quarles-Daniels, one of the best offensive rebounding guards in the Big Ten with a 3-point play.
She's a magnet to the basketball on this play. You're going to see her get in position when that shot goes up, and she got tagged on the way up there on her shot by Strimlow. But going back to the defense for Michigan, they have disallowed touches for Hannah Stokey on the inside. It's not that Stokey has missed shots. She hasn't gotten viable touches to even get shots off. And she's coming off of a game where she had 13 points yesterday. See if she can get established and activated here in the second half for Iowa.
0 for 2 shooting, but the Hawkeyes turn it over. Batted right back into the hands of Olsen.
Just volleyball or basketball?
Ashley Sophic with the finish inside, and Michigan has made it a 2-point game, looking strong to start the 4th.
Well, now you're seeing some composure and tying a bow on their steal ability. Kim Barnes-Rico discussing turned them over 10 times. They scored 8 points off of those. Can they increase that here in the 3rd?
Iowa trying to steady itself, but a 3-second violation will turn it over.
Let's take a look. Kylie Fierbach, oh my God, off the ground, levitating right into the hands of Olsen though. And then right there, the proper bounce pass inside easily for the Wolverines for a deuce.
Women's basketball tournament, taking a look at some of these superstar sophomores.
I love a quad box too, look at, because there's so many sensational sophomores across the board here in the Big Ten. I mean, these are some of the best sophomores in the country because of the power conference that they play in. I mean, just phenomenal, showing seamless transition to the collegiate level of physicality.
Here is Olsen, one of those sophomores, no good from 3. Quarles-Daniels flies for that offensive rebound.
How does she even get there?
She averages 3 per game at her size. Here's Sophic again working the offensive glass, but Michigan comes up empty.
Yeah, just overshot that one, but wow, point blank opportunity missed.
Fierbach also misses on the reverse. Olsen can't hold on to it. But as we check in with Elise about Iowa's strategy.
Well, guys, we were here earlier today at shoot-around for Iowa and talking to Jan Jensen about her formula of when she uses a timeout to stop a run. It was Michigan coming out a quick 5-0 run, and she burned the timeout just a minute gone. And she said it's a feel process for her that earlier this season that was a big run. She didn't take a timeout and talk to her neighbor about, who was a former coach at Iowa, about that decision. She burns one here, just 3 left in a game that, as we know, is very tight.
Yeah, I mean, it is a feel. You want to leave it up to the players. You want to trust them. She said she didn't call the timeout, and they won that game, so there's a lot to be said for that. But sometimes you got to stop the momentum.
Iowa was looking for back-to-back 3s there. The one before by Chit-Chat Wright gave her 10 points, 2 of 3 shooting from distance. Here is Swords in rhythm.
Oh boy, that's the proper last name for a dagger of a triple right there. Much needed offensive production from range by the sophomore sensation. Silas Swords there.
She's got 3 of their 4 from beyond the arc. 9 points for Swords.
She does a good job of getting those opportunities in transition.
High, low, again and again, successful for the Hawkeyes post to post.
Easy money downstairs. The connection of the dot, Stokey to Hayden.
Swords, a strong take. Not able to get the conversion, and now Fierbach will carry it over half court.
See if they can get Hannah Stokey going. Again, just 0 for 2 from the floor. But look, they're playing her on the high side. Just allowing easy touches to come in there for her.
Does have 7 rebounds, 4 assists though. Yeah. This long rebound up for grabs. Holloway is fouled.
Well, Chit-Chat Wright, she's come up huge for the Iowa Hawkeyes right there, positioning herself for a quick release triple from the corner. And that was Cash. And then speaking of Cash, watch this one. Bip, clean from range for the mask. Bandit right there, knocking in a sizzling triple from range.
Swords wanted it again, but Wright was right in her grill. Can't knock it down from distance. Here is Olivia Olsen bouncing into the paint on the putback.
Now that's that extra toughness that's necessary for this Michigan team. That was one of the keys. You got to be gritty. You have to be tougher. Even though we're younger, that's not an excuse for us not to dig in.
Stolke was wrapped up inside. She's fouled by Sophie Kanik, who will pick up her third. Baseline inbound here for the Hawkeyes. Leading by 2 is Feuerbach will cough it up. And Michigan off to the races. Holloway streaking to the rim and one.
Mila Holloway right here in transition with a head of steam, going right to the cup, drawing contact, and getting the and one. That is exactly what her spirit needed right now. She knows she can be a driving force for this team, literally and figuratively on the court.
First lead of the game for the Wolverines, 4 minutes into the third quarter.
See what the response will be on this possession by Iowa.
Wright getting her team set up. Go to the opposite side of Stolke. The freshman on the floor for the Hawkeyes in Houston and Deal. Houston shoulder shimmy shake wrapped up by Olsen, and she's in a tough spot. 3 seconds here for Deal. She travels. Michigan catching fire in more ways than one.
Look at the energy. Silas Sword says that's a turnover. It's a travel. We're going the other way with it. It's just a different level of moxie in the second half by this young Michigan squad.
They're outscoring the Hawkeyes in this third quarter, 12-5. Looking on that backdoor cut, Swords leaves it for Holloway as we approach the midway point of the third quarter. Holloway determined to the rim. Tries to get her own rebound. It's going to stay Michigan basketball.
Well, Michigan, they're doing exactly what Kim Barnes-Arico told Elise Woodward at halftime. They're digging in. They're trying to finish plays, and I think that's going to stand. It looked like it was off Hannah Stolke. But they got the turnovers. Kim Barnes-Arico said, hey, we forced 10 turnovers. We just have to pay it off on the other end. And you see the difference here in the second half for Michigan. They've been able to get some buckets off turnovers and now have a turnover of their own here.
Just as you were talking about it, Christy turning it over here. And now Wright, her team organized. And they feed it inside to Stolke. Instead it will be Houston, another long 2. Pearls Daniels battling on the glass, keeps it alive, but couldn't quite do it. 34-33 is Michigan's lead over Iowa. A spot in the Big Ten title game on the line. It means a ton to these teams. Michigan with a 1-point lead over Iowa, their first lead of the game midway through the third quarter as we look at our good hands play, sponsored by Allstate.
Well, Michigan coming into this one second best in the Big Ten in offensive rebounds. And watch Olivia Olsen right here on this one. Track her on this play. It is the momentum to the rim for me, and she snatched that one down and got the bucket to go. 9 offensive rebounds in this game alone, 6 points on second chance opportunities for the Wolverines, and they're going to need that extra effort here to close this one out with a win possibly.
The Michigan Wolverines have advanced to 3 consecutive semifinals. As a program, never have the Wolverines gone on to the title game. That is what is at stake here in the last couple minutes of the third and into the fourth quarter against number 2 Iowa.
I like the composure that Michigan came out of the halftime locker room with. They're more strategic with what they want to do on the offensive end, and as I say that, another empty turnover. Look at Kim Barnes-Rico holding her face with her elbows on her knees. Ah, that one hurts.
Elise Woodward was just listening into that Iowa huddle.
Yeah, you guys, Jan Jensen telling her team, hey, right now Michigan has more will and intensity than us. That's not acceptable. That's not who we are. Let's get back to who we are. Post, get it and be tough and be ready to attack.
Just a miscue on that connection, that high-low that has worked so well for Iowa. Michigan did a good job of disengaging it.
Kendall Dudley is going to travel inside after sprinting 94 feet, giving it back to the Hawkeyes. There's been 6 combined turnovers in the last several minutes between these teams.
It would behoove Kendall Dudley on that cut to sit on the lane line and get established before making that move. She just got too quick for herself. And that was a travel inside.
Back-to-back turnovers for the Michigan Wolverines. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter of this Big Ten tournament semifinal. Now 7 to shoot for the Hawkeyes. Feuerbach finds a dead end.
Oh boy.
Offensive foul is gonna go on Iowa.
Yeah. Quarles Daniels is trying to come through and lock and trail on this action, and Feuerbach just getting a piece of the hip and displacing her on that play.
That's just the first on Feuerbach. The 6th-year all-defensive team selection for the Hawkeyes. Lob intended for Olsen, and Iowa's gonna take back over after that goes awry.
And that was just not a wise option.
Stolke double teamed, almost threw it to Jan Jensen.
Yeah, both teams playing a little slappily here.
It's been a calamitous sequence for both these teams.
Yeah.
And an offensive foul. Just trading off turnovers the last 3+ minutes. Well, UCLA watching on, waiting to see who they will face in the Big Ten title game, aiming for Charlie Sledger-Walker, big personality on that team.
Cute.
Someone who needs to have a microphone
She does.
attached to her for her career.
Absolutely.
But the winner of this one will move on to take on the Bruins, the reigning Big Ten tournament champions, undefeated in Big Ten play. There's Brown on the baseline.
Iowa has 7 turnovers in this quarter, and see if, and only 6 shot attempts. See if Michigan can maximize that. Oh, a tough look. Too far underneath the backboard there in terms of angle from the baseline.
Both these teams mired in a scoring drought, beleaguered by turnovers at this point. No points, period, the last 3 minutes.
Oh boy. Well, it's a rock fight, but it's a defensive battle, so you have to appreciate the defense by both teams as well. But some of these turnovers have been unforced, so it's more of a composure situation or issue by both teams, really.
To shoot for Iowa. That goes off someone's thigh.
Trying to get that
here.
Yeah, trying to get that high-low action yet again from the strong side elbow. Stolke trying to get it down inside to Hayden. But Michigan doing a good job of being disruptive. Not making that connection as easy as it was in that first quarter for Iowa.
See if either of these teams can get settled and start stringing together some positive possessions. It's going to be a foul on Dudley on the interior as Hayden falls to the floor.
Just getting a little too extracurricular down in the painted area. Kendall Dudley down in there with Hayden. Hey, man, I didn't see much force unless I missed it early there. I mean, it's physical, but you can't displace and move people off their spot. Look at Hannah Stolke fighting for a touch.
Said deep cross-court pass. Feuerbach not there, and a foul on the ground.
Ooh.
The last point scored by either team is at the 6-minute mark, as Olsen will pick up her second.
I was kind of cringing because that was the injured arm for Hannah Stolke that got tangled there. Ay, ay, ay. Olsen had that right arm for Stolke bent in a precarious angle. I'm glad she's okay, though. It just didn't look right.
Stremlow feeds it inside, too strong of a pass, and another whistle. That's gonna be 3 on Dudley. 2 coming on this exact possession.
Kim Barnes-Arico looking for some concise communication. Look at Dudley right there. Came through on the arm, and oh, it looked like Hayden was the one holding on that play after the fact, but Dudley did come through first, and then Hayden hooked.
Some frustration building for the Michigan Wolverines, and Coach Barnes-Arico,
oh, incredulous with it. Oh, yeah. She was like, oh, my, yeah. Yeah, right there. She said, hey, I need to talk to you. But it was the initial contact was an infraction. Another turnover possibility.
Macy Brown, good effort in the passing lane there, but couldn't get it. Iowa has been on this side of the floor for an interminable amount of time at this point. It's under 2 minutes to go. Wright is blitzed. Michigan wants to get off of defense. It's going to land in the hands of Hannah Stolke.
Her first
Dudley, some cushion, spins around Hayden, too strong, and pulled down by Hannah Stolke. That's her 8th rebound. Iowa's trying to string a couple together. And there's another foul.
It's probably the easiest touch that Hannah Stolke has had this entire afternoon. There's Hayden finding her on the weak side, and she was able to go up and in. Applauded herself on that one, like, I finally got a clean look. Michigan fans like, oh my gosh, come on, babies. Can't be that easy right there.
Off the Ava Hayden turnover, her 5th. Michigan dealing with a 5+ minute scoring drought here in the 3rd after they took their first lead of the game minutes ago. Holloway, couple dribble, pull-up gets the roll, and they take back the lead in the closing 30 seconds.
And that was the proper read, and a smart decision there by Mila Holloway. Oh, she almost got a steal there.
Players just flying around, trying to force any kind of deflection, force turnovers on both sides.
And to give some perspective on the scoring that's happening here, well, there's some communication going by Kim Barnes-Arico. Just under 85 points per contest for Michigan coming into this one, 2nd best in the country. And sitting right now with 36 points, and that's a testament to the defensive battle that this game has been. A little horn set here to close things out for the Hawkeyes.
Final shot of this 3rd quarter for Iowa. Poked away by Olsen, now 8 seconds left.
Lucky, I tell you what, you gotta fake a pass to make a pass sometimes. You can't throw those straight line passes against these really tough defensive teams. And Michigan, right there in the gap, anticipating properly there was Olivia Olsen.
5 seconds left for Stremlow. Forces it inside to Stolke. She misfires, and we head to the 4th quarter. Just a 1-point game. 36-35 is Michigan's advantage over Iowa into the final 10 minutes. all-out battle here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in the semifinal. All eyes on this trophy. They move on to the title game here in Indianapolis. Meanwhile, here in our second semifinal between Michigan and Iowa, very low scoring, a couple of single-digit quarters on both sides, 36-35 entering the fourth.
Yeah, only 4 combined points in the final 6 minutes and 8 seconds of the last quarter, and that is a testament to the defensive principles and execution by both squads here.
Elise Woodward was listening in to that last talk.
Well, and that's exactly what Kim Barnes-Arico was talking about. Keep getting stops, get the traps, don't let them out of it, lock down the defense. Iowa came out and jumped first with that 9-0 run. In the second quarter, it was Michigan ahead 18-15. In the third, 14-7 advantage to Michigan. They want to win the fourth again with their defense and then win a chance to go play for the Big Ten tournament title.
Olsen and Stolke battling.
Stolke with a 3-point play, and she is finding herself here in the second half.
Yeah, she has had to fight and scrap for every touch, and right there, Olsen just being a little too physical, sitting straight behind Stolke there, afforded her the seal and the maintenance to hold that seal for the easy finish with contact.
3-point play converted and a 2-point lead for the Hawkeyes over Michigan. The winner moving on to face UCLA in the Big Ten title game tomorrow. Olsen calls her own number with the mid-range and ripped down by Wright.
Hannah Stolke gets the ball at the high post again. They're sagging in on Ava Hayden, and maybe she can just take that shot. She made a couple of high post shots yesterday.
Hayden working from the high post.
Hayden can make that shot as well, right? Go ahead and simplify things. Here, that's okay. I like that shot. I like that shot. If it's open, you gotta shoot it. It's within your skill set to make it. Gotta take it.
Brown looking back door, snatched away by Taylor Stremlow. Eyes always scanning, looking up ahead for Wright. Yeah, he's gonna slow things down.
Kim Barnes-Arico was holding her ears after that turnover.
Movement on the interior, skipping her way into the paint is Hannah Stolke. Seven points, 9 rebounds for the senior from Iowa. A foul on the floor is gonna go on Stolke, her first.
Hannah Stolke has become activated here on the offensive end for Iowa. Got to the second side after getting that great dime from Ava Hayden, who fell on her shorts after passing it. The Hawkeye fans up and activated as well because of that activity by Stolke.
They switch that foul over to Ava Hayden, and that's her third. Swords takes the feed, and now 10 to shoot for the Wolverines. Holloway, a well-contested step back, but earns the whistle.
I like the aggressiveness, though, by Mila Holloway, getting right into the painted area, forcing the defense to do something to take that straight line drive away in a legal manner. They did not on that play, tagging her on the way up.
That is 3 on Stremlow. Hayden also with 3 on the other side for the Wolverines. Olsen, Sofakanik, and Dudley all with 3 personals. Holloway 2 for 2 at the charity stripe, making it a 2-point game once more.
There's been a battle in the paint. You see Iowa with a 16-14 advantage in paint points, but a lot of those have come as of late, right? Down inside to Hannah Stolke. See if they can keep that train moving and get her another touch inside.
Feeding it into Journey Houston, bodied up by Sofakanik. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Stremlow trying to make something happen, drops the dime to Hannah Stolke. assists on 17 buckets for the Hawkeyes, and Michigan turns it over on the miscommunication. Timeout called by Michigan.
Let's take a look at how this play was dissected by Iowa. Strimlow with a solid dive to the weak side. Hannah Stolke catching a solid pocket pass right there. Good pass.
But Hannah Stolke has been looking like herself in the fourth quarter, all 7 points for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, she was 0 for 2 in that first half. Couldn't even get a touch. They were double teaming her before she got the basketball. But in the second half, she has been unlocked. She has done a fantastic job of moving well without the basketball on that weak side. Her teammates are finding her, and she's getting touches at the high post and creating offense for Hayden, getting that high-low action activated as well.
From 0 for 2 to 4 of her last 5, it's no surprise to see a senior like her who has won 2 Big Ten titles to be playing like this coming to life of late. The Hawkeyes in this matchup against Michigan have won 6 straight games by an average score of 18 points per contest, so this has been a huge battle.
Yeah, no question, and you're looking at Hannah Stolke, who has been able to maximize her role as a leader. And she and Feuerbach both bringing a ton of experience to the court. Can they continue to implement that? Michigan tries to press here.
Slows down the Hawkeyes. Now midway through the shot clock is Wright surveying this defense.
Trying to get an empty side to attack. Michigan doing a good job of staying disciplined.
Wright drops it from 3.
Just fantastic patience by Iowa.
3 for 4 shooting, and it's a 10-2 run for Iowa. And that's gonna be a foul on Sofakanik, number 4. Michigan has only scored 2 points in this quarter.
Sofakanik trying to set that flare screen and leaned outside and displaced the defender. Got that foul, and she's gonna head to the bench for Michigan.
And Kendall Dudley, who has 3 personal fouls, comes in her place. Away from the ball as Wright hits the deck.
Chit-Chat Wright being helped up there, but needed no help on this one. Solid screen set by Houston. Gave the time and space to get that bucket to fall for Chit-Chat Wright yet again from range.
Just 32% last season. Her freshman year at Georgia Tech has blossomed into a sniper.
Yeah, and they need that.
47%.
They need that from her, right? Stay aggressive, not necessarily hunting her shot, but shooting the shot when she's open, like coming off the screen like that last one.
Strimlow deposits another. Iowa takes it back on a roll, outscoring Michigan 13-2 in the fourth quarter, in the driver's seat of the semifinals late.
Now Michigan needs to dial it in defensively. You got to get hand up right there on that shot.
Tremlo, all-out effort on the glass, does all the little things that add up. Tremlo with that fake, finds herself alone, can't get the finish, keeps it alive again.
Oh. I mean, Iowa has just dialed up the tenacity right now.
Tremlo leaves it short. And Michigan has got to find something right here, down by 10 at the midway point of the fourth quarter, a spot in the Big Ten title game on the line.
Got to find Olsen on this possession.
Trying to post up Kylie Feuerbach, all Big Ten defensive team selection. Now 7 seconds to shoot. Swords has been the hero many times this season, but misfires there.
You saw Olivia Olsen really trying to fight inside. Quarles Daniels was by herself on the second side. They didn't get the ball reversed over there to even test an entry pass to Olsen on the block. They've got to find her. If she shoots it or not, that's insignificant, but they need to get her a touch. She's going to make the proper decisions in the quarter court for Michigan.
Michigan 0 for 4 shooting in this fourth quarter. And Iowa taking control of this game. Wright with timely threes. It's been Stolke returning to form as well. 10 seconds to shoot for Wright. Wright drops it off to Ava Hayden, doing what she wants on the offensive end. The downhill attack for the Wolverines, well timed.
And they need more of that, but they also need to stack some stops here defensively. Try to get back on track on the offensive end. You don't want to have to be under the duress of the clock. You got to go now and create some chaos on the defensive end.
Stremlo whips it over to Stolke. Deep in the shot clock again, Stolke legs her position. It's going to be a jump ball, though, back to Michigan.
Take a look at that, right? Stolke gets the entry pass, and then she's jammed up immediately. With Brown coming from the weak side, and then Olivia Olsen grabbing the basketball as well.
Michigan back on offense, sitting at 40 points. They put up 44 the last time these two teams met. A season low. Stolke nearly in the passing lane. It's going to go back to Iowa anyway.
Sofakanik had that same foul called on her that Dudley did. And like, you're dying on the screen if you're Quarles Daniels, and that gave the time and space to complete the play right there to Ava Hayden on the cut to the rim.
Under 3.5 to go. Iowa holding on to a 10-point lead. They've been locked up for much of this game as Stremlo somehow gets it away.
What in the world behind the back?
Stolke wrapped up inside. Will stay here with 5 to shoot.
Well, watch the magician herself right here. Stremlo tiptoeing along the sidelines. No way she saw that. I think she was out of bounds, close to it anyway. But she was, oh, she's out. Hey, now. 5 of her 10 toes were outside the lines.
Hayden will attack, spin, but it's going to be an offensive foul. That is 4 on Ava Hayden.
Still a chunk of time here, but Jen Jensen is still going to clap her up, say, hey, you're fine. You're coming right back in about a minute. Just give you a little beat with those 4 fouls. You're good.
Bringing Journey Houston on the defensive end. Dudley, smothered. Quarles Daniels will rise and fire. Fighting for the offensive rebound as she does time and time again, and there's a foul.
Michigan fighting for their lives right now for extra possessions. But it's what you do with those extra possessions that you're fighting for and earn. They got the ball back underneath, but can they pay it off? And that has been the question for this entire game.
That is 2 on Wright, and there's another whistle. It's Quarles Daniels foul. Iowa, a direct parallel from their beating on February 22nd in Iowa City, plus 11 against Michigan in the fourth quarter. They're plus 11 right now, 15 to 4 is what they're outscoring the Wolverines by.
It's a difference maker, but these are possessions as well. These free throws are possessions. You got to be able to complete plays.
Michigan in the bonus with 2:55 on the clock. And Quarles Daniels will rattle that one in.
No press here by Michigan, just opting to trickle back into the quarter court and establish themselves in what looks like a zone here. They've peppered that in throughout the game. Just trying to calm that paint down and those paint attacks that Iowa has been doing so well.
Still finds its way in the paint, but Sofacanic, emphatic rejection.
She had something to say a little bit after that as well, and she has to be careful. Those 4 fouls, I'm gonna get a taunting technical, but right here, a big block. Sends that one out and says a little something to Hannah Stokey afterwards. Hannah Stokey just smiles that off. That's confidence right there. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna smile.
She says, hey, we got a 9-point lead here.
Oh, that might be it.
Physicality.
See?
And that is 5 on
And she's
Sofacanic,
talking
the
to her,
starting
too.
center on this team.
Oh, and their teammates. Sofacanic. She said she can't wave in her face, but did Hannah Stokey wave in her face? I see that.
Sofacanic done for this semifinal. Her team
Well.
down by 9 with 2:28 on the clock in the fourth quarter.
That escalated quickly. Here's the initial play, and the foul was called on Sofacanic right there with the elbow and that push. And there's the whistle. Let's see. She can't wave bye-bye at me and my face. I didn't see it, though. I did not see that. Or maybe it was another player. I didn't see Hannah Stokey do it. Let's see who did it, though. Let's see. Oh, it was Miss Houston who did it. Well, she did do it. Well, she can't do that.
Sofacanic is done for today. All right, that was Journey Houston there. Good job by our crew and catching all of that action with quite a bit of chippiness between these two teams. Well, approaching 2 minutes left.
Sofacanic shouldn't have said anything either, so it was like it balanced out.
Olsen, feet behind the line. That's left short.
Oh,
Down
boy,
by
what is happening over
Stokey, and a collision on the far side. Both players back up on this side of the floor.
Iowa utilized a lot of this clock and salted away, taking opportunities away from Michigan. Sometimes your best defense is extending your offensive possession time.
Stokey. Why not? First, Taylor Stremlow from beyond the arc. Timeout called by Coach Barnes Arrico, trailing 54-41.
Stremlow right here. You don't come up and put a hand up in her face, and it's a boom ball triple with the splash down from range. And Stokey saying that's a bucket. Oh my goodness. The bench feeling it. The fans up off their feet with high hands in the air like they just don't care, having some fun with it. Man, I tell you what, Stremlow has been the X factor. She said, what did I say? What did I say? I got you. That's fun stuff right there.
11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists for Taylor Stremlow, who's been extraordinary her sophomore season in a starting role. Swords, good from 3. Dudley flies in. There's a whistle.
Oh boy, Dudley went down hard. She's all right, man. Oh boy.
Normally, Michigan, one of the top offenses in the entire country at 85 points per game. They've equaled that in 2 games against the Hawkeyes. They're sitting at 5 points here in the fourth quarter. They were held to 4 points in the first.
Yeah, that's a testament to the defensive prowess by both teams.
Michigan took the lead for the first time deep in the third quarter. Since then, 2 for 12 shooting, 8 turnovers, and the Hawkeyes have found their pristine operation in the meantime.
And they broke that press with precision. Got it to the middle and then got it to the second side.
Hayden through her legs. It's been that kind of day for Iowa.
Now this is absolutely incredible, right? It's actually a bad pass, goes through the legs right there of Ava Hayden into the hands of Hannah Stolke. Look at this. Got tagged a bit up and excited about that. I mean, you gotta stay ready on that weak side. Hannah Stolke catches that one in from the line. Just an unbelievable sequence right here. Through the legs of Ava Hayden, splits the wickets, and then tagged on that weak side. I mean, a microcosm of how this fourth quarter has gone for the Hawkeyes.
Through the 5-hole bear. And Stolke scoreless in the first half, over 2 shooting, 13 in the second half to elevate her team, getting closer to securing a spot in the Big Ten title game. 13, 10, and 4.
How about that? I mean, she had 13 points yesterday in the game. Oh, yeah.
Up ahead to Ava Hayden, cherry on top.
I mean, it's just been an explosion and an avalanche of offensive production from Iowa here down the stretch.
24 to 6 in this fourth quarter. Complete dominance by the Hawkeyes, and they can dribble things out here. Next on the docket for Iowa, the UCLA Bruins. Iowa Hawkeyes, welcome back to the Big Ten title game. Their 6th appearance in the last 8 years for this group.
Yeah, and now the last 4 years, you had 3 consecutive tournament titles won by the Iowa Hawkeyes. Last year, UCLA won it, and now they're matched up tomorrow for a championship situation here. Championship Sunday. Jan Jensen is excited, jumping up and down and enjoying the moment. It's a 41-32 advantage on the glass, and we said that's where this game will be won. And Iowa just dominated that fourth quarter with some ferociousness and force. They got the job done with grit and tenacity.
Gathering up her team, knowing how hard fought this victory was against the Michigan Wolverines, one of the best teams in the country, and take it 59-42.